Well, welcome to Tech Tips, everybody. My name is Paul Landberg, and I'm a member of the training department here at Graco. With me today is Damian Jensen. Damian is a technical information specialist in our contractor equipment division. Welcome, Damian.
Hey, Paul. Thanks for having me.
So, Damian, today's topic are our gas-powered sprayers, and specifically, we're going to be talking about the GMAX style, and when you have a clutch that will not engage and the pump will not stroke. All right, Damian, so we're going to a service center with a unit, and it's a gas unit or GMAX style unit, and the clutch will not engage and the pump will not stroke. Now, before we get into what we could possibly be looking into or what the possible problems and fixes are, let's talk real briefly about any of the precautions for any of the possible hazards that might arise. First of all, we got to talk about a burn hazard because we're using a gasoline engine. The engine's on, the motor and the muffler get hot.
Correct.
So the way we alleviate that is pretty much what?
Watch where you put your hands and your face when you're working on the equipment so you don't touch any of those pieces.
And we always talk about an injection hazard, and the way to alleviate an injection hazard is to
relieve the pressure off the machine.
Yeah, so follow the pressure relief procedure as it's stated in the manual. Again, working with gasoline, there is a fire and explosion hazard. I believe the main thing there is to keep an ignition source away from the gasoline. So, for instance, don't be smoking or something while you're working on a gasoline engine. And then last but not least, we want to talk about a carbon monoxide hazard because, indeed, you are running a gasoline engine. It's going to produce fumes. And so the best way to stay away from that or alleviate that problem is what?
Keep it in a well-ventilated area so you don't you're not enclosed in those fumes.
Right. So if you're in a service center type of environment, either outside run it or have an exhaust system to run the thing.
Correct.
Okay, Damian. So again, we have this gas unit, and the clutch will not engage, pump will not stroke. What's the first thing that we want to check?
Check the transducer, unplug the old one, just plug in a new one. If it starts running at that point, then we know our transducer's bad.
Okay.
If it still doesn't go, then check your potentiometer. Grab a non-magnetic screwdriver, a flat one, jumper center outside left, and then center outside right. If it starts then at that point, then we know our potentiometer is bad.
What else?
Check your AC voltage coming from the motor to the board.
Okay, and how does one go about that?
Take a meter and put it on AC volts.
Is that an ohm meter?
Yes.
Okay.
Ohm meter, voltmeter, and then you should get an 18 to 21 volts AC coming off that motor coil.
So that's what it should read if it's working correctly.
Correct.
Okay, and if it's not working correctly, what might we see on the ohm meter?
Anything under that, you're going to probably not have enough voltage to kick anything or to run anything else.
Okay. All right. And then, so if that's an issue, what are we looking at having to fix? What's the fix?
They would have to go to Honda website and look up that motor and then get the specs and everything off of that.
If the AC voltage checks out okay on the ohm meter, what do I check next?
Then go to your clutch test points and check your DC volts.
Okay, and tell me how that works, and I'm assuming that's again with an ohm meter?
Correct.
And what do you do and what are you looking for?
Put your meter on DC volts.
Okay.
And then you're going to go on your test points. You should get 10 to 12 volts DC.
Okay.
If we're not getting the 10 to 12 volts DC, disconnect the pressure switch and the display board wires if that unit has them. Then redo your voltage check.
Okay. And what are you looking for there? And then again, if it's not where it's supposed to be, how do you fix this?
If you disconnect the pressure switch and the display board and you're still not getting the proper voltage, then we got a bad board. If you disconnect those two parts and we are getting proper voltage, either your display board's got a short, so it's taking away all the DC voltage, or your pressure switch has also got a short and taking away all the voltage.
So would you be replacing both of those parts, or one or the other, and how would you know which one if it's one or the other?
Just plug one in at a time, and whatever one takes away your power, that would be your bad part.
So it's kind of a process of elimination there too.
Correct.
Okay. So the AC's fine, the DC's fine. What's next?
We're going to ohm out the pinion housing. So you're going to take your voltmeter again, put it on the ohms reading, and you're going to check out the pinion housing. You're going to get 1 to 3 ohms. If you get under 1 or over 3, you got a bad pinion housing, and just change out the whole pinion housing.
Okay, so you'd be replacing that part in that case.
Correct.
Okay. Well, Damien, thank you for taking the time today for Tech Tips.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
For more information, please refer to the following.